So, along with this history lesson, as I stated, he has a friend that is in Barber College with him. And this friend would come and stay every once in a while. He had a car. If we had appointments to go to, like he would come and spend a night so that he could take us to our appointments. When I was pregnant, my daughter was late, and I had a doctor's appointment to see about getting induced the next day. And he stayed at the house to be able to take me to my doctor's appointment. And I just ended up going in labor that day. And he was there. So just giving you some history on this friend, okay? So this friend was going to go out of town with us for Thanksgiving. And I don't know what happened, why he didn't go, but he didn't show up. He did not have a cell phone, I don't think. We had no way to get in touch with him, okay? But he didn't show up. So we had to catch a ride. And I want to say it was another family member. I want to say his brother-in-law. So I have a sister-in-law that I will be talking about in this story. I will refer to her as my sister-in-law. She had a boyfriend who we're going to call D. I consider him my brother-in-law because they were basically common law married, but you will hear me refer to him in this story as D. And I want to say D or my sister-in-law. D had a car, my sister-in-law didn't, but I want to say D or a different one of my brother-in-laws took us out of town to go for Thanksgiving. And that wasn't an uncommon thing because us living in Houston, several other family members living in Houston, we were always kind of going back and forth to this other town. Okay. Again, it's like 2.5 hours away. So we go for Thanksgiving. We spend Thanksgiving out there. Takara's with her family. She's at home with her mom, whatever the case is, you know. I don't know. We're not talking, she's with her family, I'm with mine. We come back in town, and we come back in town, our doorknob was loose. So we called maintenance, and maintenance came and fixed the doorknob. And when the maintenance guy was there, he was like, "Oh, somebody came looking for you guys." Okay. So didn't think anything of it. Remember that. More back history. I've lived in these apartments for a couple years now. I am 20, about to be 21, but I have lived in that apartment complex since I was 18. I had a roommate. I moved to my own apartment after that. I then moved to a bigger apartment and had a roommate. That didn't work out. I moved back to the same apartment that I used to have, which was a one-bedroom apartment. So my apartment complex, they knew me. The leasing office knew me. The maintenance people knew me. I was known to them because I always took care of my business, but I had been there. Okay. So, anywho, how the maintenance man tells us somebody came looking for us. Don't think anything of it. Said, our friend, he was supposed to go out of town with us. We couldn't get in touch with him. He's probably the one that came looking for us so that he can go out of town with us. And I want to say at that moment, we may have not had a cell phone. Because he would have been able to call us to see. I can't remember, you guys, but he didn't go out of town with us. Okay. So, anyways, time goes on. Takara's coming, staying here and there, not very often. Well, we're gonna fast forward. We're gonna get past November. We're gonna get past December. January. January comes. January 2003. I have now been home for almost 2 months. It is now time for me to get back to work. Takara has now lost her job because her job was seasonal, and now the season rush is over with. Um, Things are changing now because Jay was in Barber College. we worked out a plan where he was going to have to cut back on some of his hours so he can be at home while I was at work. But I was going to work at 7 a.m. so I could be home by 3 o'clock. If I would go a little later, I'd be home just a little bit later. But that way he could still work in some hours to do barber college. Okay, because we did not want to sleep on that dream. So Takara reaches out to me and she says, "Hey, I am trying to get my life together, and I can't really get my life together at my mom's house. Um, it's too far. I can't get her anywhere on a bus. Um, can I come and stay with you guys for a while? And in return, I will help you out with the baby. I know you're about to go back to work." So I'm like, yeah. I mean, it's a win-win, right? Come on. Um, but I tell her, my sister-in-law is staying there too. So I'm in this one-bedroom apartment. It's me, Jay, our baby, my sister-in-law. Um, D did not live there, but he would stay some nights, but mainly he would be, at his family's house. And my sister-in-law was staying there because she was kind of going through a tough time. She had kids as well, but her kids were staying with family, so that they could continue to go to the school so she didn't have to disrupt them. But while she was trying to figure out where her and D and the kids were going to move, she was crashing at our house. And D would come and crash there too some nights, but he was mainly, going to family's house, just trying to give space for everything. So I told her it's gonna be a little tight, but you can come. Like, my sister-in-law got one couch, you can get on the other couch. We can make a pallet, we can do whatever we gotta do. She was like, cool. So she comes and she does that. Now, where everything starts to take a turn, this is January, like I said, January 2003. It didn't last very long. We maybe did that 1 week, and then the very next week is when everything started to take a turn. And that next week was the week before Martin Luther King Day. So she stays at the house. Um, she brings her baby, and Andre comes too. Now Andre worked. He had a job. Um, he had a job on the other side of town. His job was actually closer out there to Spring. So he was catching the bus way over there, but he had a job. And she brings Andre. Was it tripping? Hey, that's your boo? Bring him, right? Um, Andre didn't go to work that whole week. I knew he had a job, but he did not go to work that whole week. He stayed at the house. I mean, I wasn't tripping. I was starting to kind of like, by Wednesday, kind of be like, what is he doing? But he stayed. He was there day and night. Again, we're having a good time. It's like family game night every night for us. Everybody's sitting around talking. The guys would go outside on the patio, smoke their cigarettes and stuff like that. Us women would just be talking and ordering food and just like we were cool. It was like a slumber party that never end. Um, until that Friday. That Friday they left, and that's when everything started coming out to me. That's when I started learning stuff. And that's when things became a little weird.